Hey boys, welcome back to the New South Wales Origin team player rating discussions. I'm going to give my opinions on how I think the Blues players went and yeah, go through it. Probably the last video, the Queensland one, went on for freaking 20 minutes. Probably won't be quite as long, but I'll still try to go through and, go through every player pretty in depth because, I don't know, when I start talking about them, I just ramble on. So if you enjoy it, you'll enjoy it, I guess. But let's get into it. James Tedesco, they give him an 8.5 out of 10. I think that's pretty, he was really good. We'll get to Cook in a second, but it was, honestly, it was Tedesco and Cook that saved New South Wales. If these guys weren't in that Blues team, they would have got absolutely blown off the park. Tedesco and Cook are extremely good. I still think Pong is better than Tedesco. Don't at me, but Tedesco was very good. He did come up with that terrible drop ball late in the game to basically seal the game for the Maroons, but other than that, he was easily the most dangerous player, and every time he touched the ball, it was, it was hold on to your seats like, geez, here we go again. But thankfully, Queensland, he did make a lot of ground, but I think they contained him pretty well. Nick Kotrick, a 6 out of 10. I think he was okay. He suffered that injury. I don't even know what happened, really. Like, he seemed to be fine after it. It was a bit of a strange one, but in the first half, I felt like he was pretty good. Like, he was breaking a few tackles, and he did what he does, but honestly, as a Queenslander, I was pretty happy they picked Kotrick. Personally, I think Ferguson should have been there. I think Ferguson is a much better winger than Kotrick, or he can come up with some errors, Fergie, but Ferguson's an absolute monster, dude. I'm glad they picked Kotrick, but Kotrick was solid without being too good, without being too bad. It's tough to come in debut on the wing. I think the defining factor here is I think Corey Oates outplayed him basically. So yeah, that's what it comes down to. Latrell Mitchell, they give him a 5.5. How do they give him a 5.5? He got fucking sin bin for one. He didn't do any. His defense was awful. Like, Chambers bombed a couple of tries, but he got on the outside of him probably like 3 or 4 times. He made one line break at the very end of the game, but that was it. Like, he was awful. Now, people might be like, "Oh, you're being too harsh." Don't get me wrong, I'm completely biased. I'm a Queenslander. I hate Latrell Mitchell, but as New South Wales fans, like, if you're saying I'm being biased or whatever, but surely he was terrible, Latrell Mitchell. And honestly, I don't know, what Fittler or I feel the other New South Wales hierarchy think, but Mitchell sort of, I wouldn't be too happy with him. Like, when he got sin bin, you see him he was jogging off, having a big grin on his face. And even, they showed a picture of him, in the sheds. He had a grin on his face. He was having a laugh and stuff. And it's the game's over. You don't want to be, you got to get over it and stuff. But I don't know, his attitude, I feel like his attitude is pretty weak, honestly, for Origin. If he can have some amazing games and he's a special player, but I feel like the attitude is pretty bad at times. And yeah, the fact people compare him to Inglis is the opposite of that in terms of Origin, dude. But yeah, I'm not gonna keep talking about it. But I'm just happy to see Mitchell get just have a shit game. Really, I just don't like him. So yeah, I'm happy about it. Josh Morris, 7.5. He was actually really good. Morris was he was probably the second most dangerous player. I felt like in the first half he was real dangerous. In the second half they barely gave him the ball, but it's probably in conjunction with Queensland dominating their second half with possession and the territory they had. But yeah, Morris was really good. So it's gonna be real surprising, or not surprising, but it's gonna be interesting to see what Fittler does, because obviously Tom Trbojevic is gonna be back, and I mean Trbojevic is gonna come straight back in, but who does he replace? Does he go? I think what was gonna originally happen was Josh Morris was probably gonna get dropped because, you know, he was sort of coming back as cover for them, but you know, sort of on tonight's performance, Nick Kotrick probably should be dropped ahead of Morris, and I mean Latrell Mitchell should be dropped ahead of Morris for sure. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what Fittler does when Tom Trbojevic comes back in, because he'll be straight back in Trbojevic for sure. Josh Adokar is 6.5. I think that's pretty rough. I mean, he looked pretty good. He came up with, I mean, as much as Queensland bombed a couple of tries, I mean, Adokar saved probably 3 tries, a couple of times chasing a player down, and then the other time with that knocking the ball down when they had a huge overlap. 6.5, I think he was probably one of their best players. Pretty unfair, really. He didn't really get too much chance in attack, but man, he saved some tries for New South Wales for sure. Cody Walker, 5 out of 10. He was absolutely terrible, dude. He's lucky that Maguire ran up out of the line and he gifted that sort of try assist for him. Otherwise, he would have just had an absolute shocker. I don't really know what Fittler was doing to begin with. Like, not the fact picking him. I think Cody Walker should have got picked, but he subbed him off like not long into the second half and put Wyden out there, who Wyden was pretty average to shit as well, but you can't really blame Wyden. I mean, he's thrust out and having to play basically 5'8" after sitting like 60 minutes on the bench. Like, it's pretty tough to go out there and do that. But then he put Walker back out there like probably like 10 minutes later. It was real strange. I don't know. I think it was sort of Fittler clutching at straws a little bit, honestly. The substitutions just didn't make any sense. Like, I feel like Walker was pretty terrible before he got subbed off, but surely you got to keep him out. Like, surely you got to have some faith in him. Like, you just got to go out and tell him, like, pick it up. Like, get involved, do something. Like, I don't know. It was real strange. Nathan Cleary, they give him a 7 out of 10. I don't understand why they gave him a 7 out of 10. I think he was pretty average to bad as well. His kicking game was good. I'll give him that. His kicking game was good. The high kicks especially were pretty dangerous, but even with that, like, his high kicks weren't, they were tough to take, but there was never really any pressure on the back three. So the kicks were good, but not anything too special. And he didn't actually do anything. Like, yeah, I felt like this last series as well. Like, Cleary, obviously New South Wales won the series last year, but again, it was Nathan Cleary didn't do anything last series. It was all on the back of Cook and Tedesco. I mean, that's what it comes down to with New South Wales, really. I feel like, anyway. And maybe a couple of individual bit of brilliance from a couple of players, but yeah, Cook and Tedesco are the guys there. But Cleary, I mean, he just didn't get involved. Like, I didn't even. There was a couple of times where he ran onto a couple of good bits of play from Cook getting out dummy half, but other than that, like, he didn't set up any sort of play. Like, I didn't even remember seeing Cleary. I really don't remember seeing him other than kicking the ball. David Clemmer, 8.5. Yeah, he was very good, dude. Like I talked about in the Queensland ratings, I don't know what happened. Like they say here, yeah, he played the entire first half and made 129 meters. He was outstanding. He was the best forward out on the paddock for sure. But yeah, he played the whole first half, and then I don't remember seeing him in the second. He must have come back on, but I don't know how much game time he played. But I feel like, again, that's a bit of a strange sort of tactic to like burn Clemmer out in the first half and then not really use him in the second half when he's easily the best forward they've got. He was incredible, but I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Again, I feel like that was a strange sort of ploy with Clemmer. Like, I'm sure he played some minutes in the second half, but I don't remember, or at least he didn't have an impact, that's for sure. Damien Cook, 8.5 out of 10. Again, like I said, I think Clemmer, Cook, and Tedesco were far and away New South Wales' best players. Morris was also pretty good, but those three guys were easily the best. Like, Cook is just so dangerous, dude. Every time there's a quick play of the ball, Cook is just, as a Queenslander, it's extremely nerve-wracking. Quick play of the ball, and Cook scoots out. Tedesco is right there. It's like, oh, here we go. Here we go, boys. Buckle in. But, I think Queensland did a pretty good job. He did make some good runs, but I think Queensland, they held him up pretty well. Like, they didn't really let him get into the backfield. He did a couple of times, but yeah, he's such a good dummy half, dude. He's easily the best hooker in the game, without doubt. Paul Vaughan, 6.5 out of 10. Again, I felt like in the first half, Vaughan was really strong with Clemmer, but I didn't even see him in the second half. I know he came back on, but yeah, he really didn't stand up in that second half at all. When they didn't have the running, guys like Vaughan really didn't stand up and take it to Queensland. So yeah, I didn't think he was great. Boyd Cordner, 7 out of 10. I think he was okay. I mean, he got benched like 10 minutes to go. It was, I don't know. I don't think Fittler was too happy with Cordner for, whatever reason, but I think he was solid without doing anything too good. But yeah, he sort of does what he always does. Tyson Frizzell, 6 out of 10. I don't know what happened with Frizzell. Again, this is a really weird one for me. I thought Frizzell, they say here he just 7 runs for 44 meters in the first stint, but I thought he was really strong in the first 30 minutes he was out there. He may not have run the ball that much, but his intensity, like, he was the guy pushing the line speed for New South Wales. Some of his carries, like, only 44 meters, but I thought some of his carries were pretty solid, and I thought he was excellent in that first stanza. But then, like it says here, he only played another 10 minutes for the match. Like, yeah, another one that really makes no sense to me. I thought he must have got I thought he got like a head knock or something, or injured, because I was just scratching my head. I'm like, thank God Frizzell is not back on the field, because he was the one guy that was really causing us some trouble. Like, defensively, he was belting blokes, but yeah, Fittler just didn't play him. So yeah, strange, dude. Jake Trbojevic, 7 out of 10. He was real good. Jake Trbojevic, probably, besides Clemmer, was easily their best or second best forward, I feel. Did he play the full 80 minutes? I think he did he? It must have been close to the full 80, but yeah, he got the try. A lot of carries, a lot of good defense. That's what you expect, and he's a gun, Jake Trbojevic. Jack Whiten, 4.5 out of 10. You gotta feel pretty sorry for Jack Whiten. I mean, I actually the intercept for Gagai, like, he did some good work. Like, you hear fucking Paul Vaughan in the commentary box, like, why did he pass it? Like, Gagai standing right there. But, I mean, he did all the good work. Like, he beat Chambers. All he had to do, draw and pass. But then Gagai just comes out with a miracle play and scores an intercept try. I thought Wyden was actually pretty unlucky for that one. Like, he did some good stuff. But, yeah, 25 minutes. It's tough. Like for the number 14, it's a real tough gig, honestly. Like with Mo Zembai, like he played like I don't know 7 minutes. Like what are you meant to do? Like one, he got a fair bit of game time. Like he went off when or he went on when Cody Walker came off. But yeah, it's tough for the number 14. Like I feel like having 4 forwards probably would be more advantageous, but it's real tough. Like you can't really risk it because if you get an injury in the back line, you're stuffed. So they sort of have to pick a utility like that, and it's tough for them to get in the game, honestly. Payne Haas, 6.5 out of 10. I don't know why they ranked him so high. I thought Payne Haas was pretty mediocre. He gave away a stupid penalty that was blatant and just dumb, and he got bent back. Like there's probably like one run where he sort of made some good ground, but other than that, like, and I mean, I'm not blaming Payne Haas. I mean, you know, his debut game, and he was like he's definitely gonna be a rep star in the future. But I felt like, you know, I felt like he really didn't provide what everyone was talking him up to. And don't get me wrong, I like Payne Haas. I mean, I'm a Broncos fan. I love Payne Haas, but I think I'm still surprised he got picked. I don't think he should have got picked for New South Wales. And you know, the hype around him, I think, is a little bit ridiculous. I think David Fafita was far more impactful than Payne Haas. But yeah, you know, he's solid. Cameron Murray, 7 out of 10. Cameron Murray, extremely dangerous. Like, yeah, he was very good for them as well. He is very susceptible to a couple of errors because of the way he plays the ball. Like, he gets away with it at NRL level because the refs love to give penalties for ridiculous shit like that. But in Origin, when the refs aren't blowing penalties, I mean, he got found out in Origin because he does what he always does. Like, he plays the ball super quick and he's not even on his feet, and he tries to play it and he drops it, and he got pinged for a knock on, which is correct. Like, it's the correct decision, but in NRL, like, they give penalties for that all the time. So, you know, he tried to do the same thing and he got found out. But yeah, he was still really good. Like, Cameron Murray is an absolute gun, dude. I was disappointed that they picked Murray because I thought he would be very, very dangerous. And yeah, him and Cook around the ruck are a bad combo, dude. And then Angus Crichton, 5 out of 10. I cannot believe that I can't believe Crichton got picked. Like, and he played such big minutes again. Like, Brad Fittler obviously loves Angus Crichton because he must have played like 60 minutes. Like, he came on the field pretty early on, and then he played the rest of the game, I felt like. But yeah, I mean, a couple of years ago, Crichton was excellent, but I mean, his form the last season and this season has really not been very good. I was shocked that he got picked. So it'll be interesting to see if he retains his spot, because yeah, he really didn't provide too much for their bench. But you know, I guess he is a guy that is more of a worker. Like, he's not really the X Factor type. So yeah, it's a tough one. But yeah, that's the New South Wales sort of review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. You know, leave in the comments what you think they should have scored and whatnot, and if I'm an idiot, whatever, you can let me know. But regardless, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you're a Queensland supporters. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.